Many wise men have written many wise life quotes. Study one and you'll be blessed, but try grasping them all and you'll be overwhelmed. Today we'll study one life stance that many have found useful. Expect nothing and accept everything. I'm Professor Ritual. Welcome to the retrospective. Consider a manager who believes their job is to control everything, hence their motto, I must be in control. This kind of attitude used to be de facto back in the 80s, but now we know it doesn't really work in complex environments. In personal life, this approach cannot but lead to stress and exhaustion. Then a Scrum Master who believes they shouldn't control anything, hence their motto, don't worry, nothing is under control. An accepting approach frees the team to work fluently and kicks anxiety out of the window. The motto, expect nothing and accept everything, was brought to my consciousness by Anthony Hopkins in an interview. It struck me immediately as significant. If we don't expect anything, then we won't be disappointed either. If we accept everything, then we'd never run into conflicts. Nietzsche called this aptitude amor fati, or love of fate, but he merely named the concept. The Stoics before him tried to teach people how to not give a But there are problems with this life stance too. Let me explain the dilemma and its solution. Assuming an external event that a person then merely accepts. Assuming another event that gets accepted by the subject again. And another, and another. I guess we begin to see few problems here. If we take the motto accept everything literally, then we would passively scan and accept a thing after another, a bit like a worker on a conveyor belt. If we accept everything coming our way, we would become biological robots predetermined to follow this rule. And what if the events were orchestrated by an evil entity? Would we let it pass? Sure. We would accept and enable evil and immorality in the world without even raising a finger about it. To me, this would sound a way too passive an approach. But there is more. In fact, we could optimize away the robots and the acceptance steps too, because they are unnecessary. This would leave us with a crazy sounding result where the output equals input. Whatever we put here comes out unchanged there. As a philosophy, this would make no sense whatsoever. We are people with aspirations, goals, and free will, right? So how can we fuse together acceptance and will impulses so that we don't become robots? If you want to come up with a solution, feel free to pause the video now. Michael J. Fox, who probably knows more about life's challenges than many philosophers combined, opens an aspect for us. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It means understanding that something is what it is and that there is got to be a way through it. Yes, it feels a bit forced, but now we at least have something. Acceptance doesn't necessarily mean passivity. Eckhart Tolle is more direct, already giving a short workflow to follow. Accept, then act. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. And here is my solution. External events come to us as before, but now we are awake and standing up to our values. We know who we are and we know what we stand for. Then we can accept our internal processing about these events. Our feelings and emotions, that is. We don't try to avoid feelings, but embrace them without attachment. This step releases much internal tension. After some reflection, we would then take committed action, or what Buddha called right action. This way, we would break free from being biological robots, becoming active human beings and using all cylinders of our soul, thinking, feeling, and willing. And should an evil impulse come our way, we would handle it accordingly based on our values. Hopefully, we would kick it in the head. By the way, those interested in psychology, this mental model is loosely related to acceptance commitment therapy, or ACT. This, along with many other forms of therapy, can increase people's psychological flexibility by getting rid of unhelpful stories about ourselves. And talking about stories, the same model would apply to Agile teams too. External events would happen, say change requests, impediments, etc. A mature team would be committed to Agile values, for example the Scrum values. The team would then reflect on the issues in one of their ceremonies, leading into a decision, which would be then realized through committed action. It's pretty simple when it's laid out like this, but obviously there are many hurdles to be crossed before a team actually behaves like this. People have always wondered what the best life stance might be. Whichever stance you choose, go run experiments with it. And make sure that it truly was chosen by you.